Hey friends, how you doing? Earlier this week, we asked a question about. Well, we said, "What's hard? What's working well for you right now on social media? What's hard for you?" And so what I did is I pulled the list of what's hard for you, and here's what we came up with. All right, here's what you all shared: putting yourself out there consistently, making new friends, building resource, no interaction on business and product posts. I'm not good at going outside my circle. Anything to do with my business, I get crickets. Getting the courage to ask for the business or join my team is difficult. Keeping consistent with social media in hopes that people will buy. I need to get better at my CTAs. I think transitioning to a sales conversation is hard for some reason, and I'm struggling to get engagement on business posts from people other than current customers. And if you relate to any of that, let me know which one in the chat. And we're gonna go ahead and jump in, and I'm gonna answer these like basically in three different parts. I'm gonna give you my thoughts on consistency, making new friends, and why no one interacts on your business post. So, first thing about consistency is we have to start by defining consistency. What does that mean? Does consistency mean 7 days a week? Does it mean 3 posts a day, 7 days a week? Does it mean 3 posts a week? Like, I really think it's important that consistency is the standard, like the minimum standard, not the aspirational goal. So for me, consistency is I record one video a week. I'll release at least one video a week. If I'm on vacation, we do a recording, but there's always one video that'll go out. To me, I have done that since September of 2015. That's what consistency is for me. However, sometimes I really actually like to go live every day for just a few minutes, but sometimes my schedule doesn't allow for that. So that's not what consistency means to me. Consistency means that every week there's a story post, every week there's a video that goes out, and then of course we have some questions and conversation starters that we ask. So that's what consistency looks like for me. I think we have to define it. The second thing that I want you to think about when you think about consistency is, are you actually committed to what you just said? How does being consistent on social media out there impact your overall quality of life? I was thinking about this, and I kind of, unfortunately, I think I ranted on my client, my new client today, but I was like, leaders show up, guys. I remember Karen, when Karen used to teach the leadership course live, I heard a story from a client who said she made everyone turn on the cameras because leaders show up. Leaders show up live. And I agree with that wholeheartedly. We can't automate leadership, but that's what we want to do, right? Leaders show up. And I think it's so important to remember that the people that we are leading, or the people we want to be leading, or the people that we're encouraging, they're on social media. And so we have, right, in the same way we have a moral and ethical obligation to share the products with people because they help people. Um, we have a moral and ethical obligation to show up and be a positive force in the newsfeed. I think that's really, really important. And so I think we have to really ask ourselves honestly, am I really committed to being a leader in my social media community? Or am I doing social media because I'm supposed to? Those are two different things. For me in my business, I'm committed to being a positive, encouraging force in your newsfeed, period. So it's not hard for me, right? As at like 3 o'clock, I'm like, oh shoot, I need to do a Facebook Live today. But I wasn't salty about it. I didn't forget about it. It's on my to-do list to do these things because I'm committed to showing up as a leader in my online community. Which brings me to the next point. If I did not put this Facebook Live on my daily to-do list, this is what sits in front of me, right? When I planned it last week, I put Facebook Live on Thursday. I don't think I would have done it. I think tomorrow, Karen would have been like, where's the Facebook Live for yesterday? I would have been like, I don't know. Oops, I forgot. So is it on the to-do list? Because I can't leave my desk until my to-do list is complete. And then when I was chatting with my client this morning or this afternoon, she said, you know what I'm going to do is I'm just, for Sunday night, I'm going to just sit down, I'm going to brainstorm a bunch of topics, and I'm going to write them out, and then I'm just going to post them each day. And I was like, that's it. That's perfect. I think that's right. So those are some thoughts on consistency. Now let's talk about making new friends. I want you to leave your network marketing business for a second because I think it really messes with our head. I want to know, what type of people would you enjoy meeting if you weren't doing business? Start there. The types of people that I enjoy meeting if I'm not doing business are people that with things that I'm interested in. I enjoy meeting other hockey players. I enjoy meeting other entrepreneurs. Right, like those kinds of things interest me, and so I would probably look for those types of people on social media. The second thing when it comes to making new friends is you're not in the, like, we're business people, we're personal brand people. Personal brand people don't have the luxury of being cranky or private or whatever, right? When I was growing up, my parents sent me to private school because I was so rude to all my mom's friends. But now I operate on a personal brand, which means when I'm on social media, when I am out and about, it's important that I am always the friendliest version of myself. No matter how tired I am, no matter how hungry I am, I need to be the friendliest version of myself. I can't be that 9-year-old kid who is just salty at her mom's friends all the time. So I think it's so important not to try to be someone else on social media, but to be the friendliest version of myself. So for me, that means, hi, I'm Tasha. It's nice to meet you. It's not like I'm not very hypey, but I can be the friendliest version of myself. And I can be that on social media. So when I get a friend request, right, the reason it takes me so long to respond to them is because I message the people and I'm like, hey, I'm so glad you connect with me. It's really nice to meet you. Right. I see on your profile XYZ. That's really cool. Which transitions me to the next thing. If being social on social media is difficult for you and making new friends or acquaintances is challenging for you, if you haven't read How to Win Friends and Influence People, I think it's required. It should be required reading if you operate in, a personal brand business, which you do and I do as well. There's also a In the Digital Age version available. I haven't read that version yet. I've read the initial version like 3 times. Um, but that, right, like if you haven't read How to Win Friends and Influence People, please read that. That is going to help you to win friends and influence people. Awesome. The third big topic here is why no one interacts with your business posts. Well, I want you to look at your business posts not from your perspective of, please respond to my business post, but look at it as someone who's just consuming the newsfeed. Is it clear that they're supposed to interact with you? What is the question that you're asking? What are you asking for? Right? What are they supposed to do? I think a lot of business posts or product posts, you can't interact with them. Like, what am I supposed to do with this? It's not a question. It's not a story. There isn't a picture of you where I could say that I like the picture. There's not a whole lot to respond with unless it's like, hey, want to do this business with me? And that's a really big ask to do on social media. And that ask really, I think, should be done in private. And so one of the reasons that product posts or business posts don't work so well in the news feed is because connecting and giving should be done publicly, and inviting and selling and recruiting should be done privately. So that's why that's not working, is it just sort of doesn't, and it's harder for other people to engage, and it's a kind of a private conversation, right? Do you want to do network marketing as a business? It's not necessarily something that I'm going to jump on in a post and say, oh yeah, pick me, right? If anything, it's got to be a private conversation. This is also super hard because your super successful upline gets a lot of engagement, but it's from the team. It's not from, regular people. So when it comes to your business, here's how to post about your business. Try telling stories about your experience as a leader and business person. Share lessons learned, celebrate accomplishments, share about the books you're reading for professional growth, the thing that you're learning if you're in a mastermind, the funny story that happened on your way to an appointment, right? Like those kinds of things are a way to talk about your business without talking about your business. And instead of talking about the business, talk about problems that you solve. People are not interested in your business, but they are interested in maybe some of the problems your business solves. One of my clients got huge traction on social media after one of our clarity calls, and she said she changed her video to, here's the story about how I dealt with my hormone issues. Right, hormone issues is a problem, not here's how awesome my products are. It's not gonna, it's not interesting, right? Now, if I personally, well, maybe Charlie would disagree with me, um, but don't feel like I have hormone issues, so I would scroll past that problem. But maybe somebody else, like I have a friend who is struggling with that, and they might stop and watch that video. So talk about the problems you solve, and then invite people to check out resources. You can see in our groups that's what we do. We're like, hey, do you want this resource on this particular problem or goal? And then the people that say yes, I want that resource, it's an easier ask, and then we can chat with them privately. I think with anything in your business, it's understanding it's an experiment. So taking a step back and being kind of like a scientist. At the end of the week, looking back on your posts, what went well, what didn't go well, what adjustments do I need to make, and then make the adjustments and just keep going through that. That's a really important business practice, social media or otherwise, that I think will be really helpful for you. So I hope this little FAQ was helpful. I hope it was encouraging to you in the newsfeed. I always ask myself when I'm going to post something, is this encouraging to people? Is it helpful? Would it make someone's day brighter? And if it passes those tests, then I post it. That's what keeps me from overthinking. And I hope that this met all of those requirements for you.